if you're interested in eating more, not just getting in better shape.
If you've reached your weight loss goal or want to have a break from weight loss for a bit, you don't want the goal of low calories and weight loss the whole life. Like, you need to enjoy life. So if you want to learn how to basically maintain and enjoy some food, hit us up.
Keeping that weight off and staying in good shape it's actually really important to have a good strategy to increase your calories as well. Even if you just ask us on Instagram for some advice, it's good to reach out, because just going your own is not always the best idea.
Hey Jake, how are you? And how is the calorie deficit going?
Ooh, I like that question. It's I'm good, thank you for asking.
Good.
And the calorie deficit is going quite well. If you've seen any of my food over the last week, it's been probably the best food I've ever eaten in a calorie deficit, in terms of like, I've had such a good, I've had a great amount of vegetables and fruit, and I've had like really tasty meals, and I've not really struggled at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm seeing on your stories like the curries and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, that actually looks really good.
I've just been making sure I hit my protein allowance like evenly across the day, but in the morning and for lunch, it's like quite high protein meals and not much else. There is other stuff in there, but then I've just been banking a good amount of calories for the evening, maybe like 50%. And where like I'm not doing loads in the morning or early afternoon, it's quite easy to get through the day on like not stupidly low, but I like maybe half my calories throughout the day and then half in the evening. And it just means I can have a nice dinner and a nice snack afterwards. So it's been really nice. It's going really well. And it's something that I'm taking into my like personal training programs to try and like encourage other people to eat similar to how I've been eating the last week or two. And my weight is going down at a really, really good pace as well. So
it is. I know. I remember when you showed me your little graph.
Yeah. Trying to make it into like something visual so I can see my weight loss.
It's good.
Weight loss
it's
occurring.
good.
How about you? How are you? And what's up with you? How's your weight?
Yeah. My weight is the same, thanks.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And I'm eating so much food, which is awesome.
That's
yeah, I'm good.
That's the key, isn't it? Like when it's just, can you eat the most food and still hit your goal? That's kind of like with any goal, how can I maximize food and still reach that goal?
I know. And it's honestly, I'm enjoying it so much. Like ages ago when I'd be like, ooh, 1,500 calories. Now I'm like, ooh, maybe some days I'm going to go 2,500 calories.
That's incredible, isn't it?
The other is so amazing. The other weekend I made homemade Nando's Saturday night. Delicious. I even baked my own bread, which I then cut off 4 chunky slices and made it into my own garlic bread. So when I was sat down eating this Nando's, I was like, I'd created all of it myself, so I was pretty buzzing. And then on the Sunday, my first roast, and my Yorkshire puddings were insane.
Yeah, that's if I did message you and I said like I was so impressed. If that was your first roast, it was incredible. The beef looked amazing.
Yeah, that's cooked. That's how I like my beef cooked, like pink.
But to get that on your first roast is like impressive. So
one thing I need to work on is my cauliflower cheese. So I need to time my cauliflower cheese better, because I like cauliflower cheese where it's like crispy on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to like put it in the oven better. Like I just need to work out timings with that.
Yeah, that will come. I think I don't really like cauliflower cheese, so what you had literally looked perfect to me.
I love cauliflower cheese.
But touching on one thing you mentioned about eating higher calories, are 2 things there. One, I've really liked your little Oreo snack that you posted like maybe yesterday.
How good is that snack?
They look great. How much are they? Like 70 calories?
Maybe no, they're about 120, I want to say, for a packet.
That's not very much.
But no, it's not. It's for like a snack. And then like, can you imagine if let's say it's Saturday night, you want to watch a movie with, I don't know, a friend or boyfriend or whatever, or like what a perfect snack that would be if you got one of them, a low calorie packet of popcorn, and maybe another thing I bought is the Jude's mini ice creams on the stick, 90 calories. Well, that's 3 awesome snacks for less than 500 calories.
And that's like a nice little treat that you can have once a week, or a couple times a week. If you're me, I'd probably have that 3 or 4 times a week. But but yeah, like that's a good thing. And then touching on your like calories thing, if anyone's kind of curious as to like how Hayley's eating 2,500 calories and not like putting on weight, then that's your opportunity to reach out to us on Instagram, message us, or start working with us, because this is the kind of thing we teach. It's not just like, oh, we're not just going to help you lose weight. You learn these methods of how over time you can eat more food and maintain weight, as well as lose weight in the short term, like 6 to 12 months. So
yes, we do, guys.
If you're interested in eating more, not just getting in better shape, then that's also...
if you're interested, if you've reached your weight loss goal or want to have a break from weight loss for a bit, because you don't want the goal of low calories and weight loss the whole life. Like, you need to enjoy life. So if you want to learn how to basically maintain and enjoy some food, hit us up.
And also on that, like the strategy behind long-term keeping that weight off and staying in good shape is actually really important, to have a good strategy to increase your calories as well. So it's always good to reach out. Even if you just ask us on Instagram for some advice, it's good to reach out, because just going your own is not always the best idea.
No, even if you've got like a random question about it, just one question that you need answering, let us know, because we are always going to help you guys.
Yeah. So a bit of a long intro today, talking about food and getting
it was, wasn't it? But it was a good one.
Yeah. And, talking of...
let's go. Yeah, let's go into what we're actually meant to be talking about today, and that is supplements. So we're going to talk about a few of them. First, I wanted to speak about protein powder. So this is like probably one of the most talked about, probably like everyone's making recipes with it and everything. But protein powder is basically it's a powder that you would use if your protein is not high enough and you don't enjoy eating lots of meat, lots of fish, lots of eggs, or you are vegetarian and vegan. Protein powder is a great way of increasing your protein intake.
It's just so easy. That's one thing. It's so easy, and despite what some people think, it's not dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous. I mean, whey is made from like milk and stuff. So, I mean, but on average, one scoop is, everyone's a bit different, but I would say on average, one scoop is like 20 grams of protein. So,
if not, some of them are a little bit more as well. So
yeah, some of them are a little bit less, some of them are a little bit more. It just depends. But I would say on average, a scoop is like 20 grams of protein. How easy is that to consume? And with all the different flavors that you can get nowadays, something from like banana to cookies and cream to peanut butter there's everything. So I'm sure that there would be one for everyone. Mm-hmm. So having that scoop of protein powder, if you don't eat your protein from meats and things like that, it's so easy.
Yeah. So
easy.
Remember, guys, that this episode is on supplements. So this is to supplement your diet. Obviously, we advise that you get everything in your diet as best as you can. And we've spoken about that over the last few weeks. We've really gone into detail over micronutrients, macronutrients, and how you can get the best diet and how you can be really healthy just off of food. But for everyone, life doesn't you don't always hit exactly what you need to hit. And for me, protein is just the easiest supplement to include.
Exactly. And if you find yourself a lover of sweets, protein powder is and if you don't get enough protein from your foods, like whole foods and meats and things like that, then protein powder is a great way of having an awesome dessert. How many recipes do you see nowadays getting posted on Instagram and TikTok of all these different awesome looking desserts? Mm-hmm. the protein cookie in a mug, or
Yeah.
just all these crazy different things. So protein is probably, but this is another thing. Some people still think that protein is bad and it's for like bodybuilders and stuff like that. It's really not, guys. Like, if you struggle, if you don't enjoy eating lots of meat, you don't enjoy eating lots of fish, you are a vegan, please really think about taking a protein powder.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into like training and things like that as well. You need to be looking after your body, looking after your muscles, everything like that.
100% agree. And if you're still a little bit confused about protein in any way, we did an episode, I think it was 2 episodes ago, or on protein. No, 3 episodes ago on protein.
3 episodes ago now.
I think it was episode 16, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I'm trying to think back where we are. So that one, we really dive deep into it. And on one of the points that I had a couple of messages about that I feel like it's just adding in here again is that the rough recommendation of what you should be getting is your body weight in kilograms times 1.7. So, for example, for me, I weigh about 80 kilos times by 1.7. It's something like 140. So if you take your body weight in kilos times it by 1.7, that's what you should be aiming for. And if you're not hitting that in your diet, add some protein powder in.
And before we move on, I'll just give you a few examples. So we got whey. We've got casein, which casein is a good one casein you would usually take at night, as it's, how would I say this?
Well,
Why have I just lost words? It's like slower. That's it. Yeah. It's like slower. So like you would take that overnight. No, you wouldn't take that overnight. You'd take that before you go to bed. But
it's just like on a drip like whey in your arm as you sleep.
Feed it in as you sleep. So you got whey, casein, and then obviously you've got your plant ones. You got things like soy, pea. Give me another example, Jake. Soy, pea.
I'm sure there's one made out of beans.
Rice.
Yeah.
Rice.
Literally, they're made out of like loads of. There's any vegan option. There seems to be one on the market because they're just more popular nowadays than they were before. But yeah, you've got all those. You've got your vegan and non-vegan options. So there's literally, doesn't matter what diet you're on, even if you're on keto, there's like, do you know what I mean? There's a protein powder that suits everyone. So there's no excuses.
No excuses, guys. Next supplement, Jake.
So the next one we wanted to talk about was creatine. And I guess protein's like one of the most important ones, but creatine is one of the most studied ones. And
I would say creatine is my favorite.
Yeah. So creatine is something that's definitely massively underlooked. Unless you use it already, then I guess it's not. But it is one of the most studied supplements, and it has been shown time after time to have no negative effects, which is like something that was rumored definitely when I was like first getting into lifting weights. It was rumored as like a dangerous drug.
I remember people talking about creatine. I was like, oh my god, I'm not taking creatine. That's ridiculous.
Exactly, but it 100%, guys. It's been shown time after time to be really good for you, and this is because it aids in like refueling your muscles and rehydrating them, and that's like the thing that it's been primarily used for. But in recent times, studies have shown that it really helps with like brain function. So like creatine is a massive one to take. It's so easy to take as well. It's very cheap to buy, which is really handy.
It is. It's very cheap to buy. And there's different forms. Like you can buy like tablets, or I do the powder because I just mix it in like shakes and stuff.
So the powder is the cheaper form of it as well, which is good. And recently I've been mixing it into my smoothies, which is just really easy. It's in my routine. But if you're someone that if you're like, oh no, not another powder, then just get the tablet form and just add that with your like multivitamins or something like that. So yeah, I think like creatine, if you're not taking it, it's one you should definitely consider for sure. Because I take it, you take it, and we would both recommend it. So
creatine, a lot of people think that you need to do breaks from it and you need to cycle it, when in actual fact, you don't. Some people like to do, like the start.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
The intro. What's the word?
I'm thinking.
I'm going to call it an intro.
Yeah,
I'm going to call it an intro. So some people like to do like an intro to creatine, where they'll do like 20 grams a day for the first 3 to 7 days, and then they will drop it down for only another 3 weeks. That's not actually needed. Like, you can just continue to take 3 to 5 grams every day because of the benefits it has for your brain and obviously your muscles and energy levels and stuff like that. There's even scientists, guys, that give it to their kids because that's how good it is for, yeah, exactly. Because that's how good it is for your brain and your neural function.
3 to 5 grams is just one tiny little scoop. It's about a teaspoon. You don't even notice it. Whatever you put it in, it's unflavored most of the time, unless you get a flavored one. So just honestly, I would advise getting some creatine. But if you want to like speak to us before, again, like with any of these supplements, just message us on Instagram and we'll get back to you.
Next one. This is something that me and Jake we feel the same on this one, don't we? BCAAs, guys. BCAAs or EAs. So your BCAAs is your branch chain amino acids. So amino acids you find in proteins. Obviously, with your EAAs and your BCAAs, you do need to get them from, like, our bodies don't make them, so you do need to get them from food, but you do not need to take BCAAs in a supplement if you have a wide variety of proteins and whole foods in your diet.
Yeah.
So, for example, like me, I do not need to take, and I've fallen for this before, I have taken BCAAs like years ago. I used to drink it during workout thinking it was helping me. But I eat chicken, beef, fish, all types of fish. I eat eggs. I have Greek yogurt. I have my protein powder. I do not, like, that is such a wide variety of protein sources that I do not then need to waste my money, because BCAAs aren't cheap either.
Yeah.
So I do not need to waste my money and add BCAAs to it too.
So that's the thing. Like, if you're listening to this and you're like, well, maybe I don't eat enough meat. Well, like we said, the first point, eat some more protein, have a protein shake, have the protein powder. That's going to be your first go-to. And then once you've supplemented with protein powder, then you will already have had enough BCAAs. So basically, like, your first supplement would be protein. And after that, it just makes the BCAA supplement irrelevant. Essentially,
like
BCAAs, they're
Oh,
basically just, you may as well use them as like a bloody squash. That's how useful they are. If they're flavored, they're no better than your squash downstairs in your cupboard, because they're not going to give you any extra benefit.
I find BCAAs they can be some people they can be good for is vegans and vegetarians, because they don't have such a vast like variety of proteins. Then they may need to think about supplement in BCAAs. But the only other reason I would say BCAAs is if you don't eat enough protein and you don't like protein powder. Like, if you don't like protein powder, then yeah, try BCAAs, because it's more of a fruity, you can get the powder at more of a fruity taste and you can drink it. Like, I do have a client what does have it, because she struggles to get she's working constantly and like long hours and stuff. She doesn't have time to meal prep all the time and things like that. So we do use BCAAs to get a little bit of added protein in there.
I know I've said this twice already now, but if you're going to decide to take BCAAs, please message either me or Haley, because we will be able to determine whether you're wasting your money, because chances are you probably are. Even if you listen to what Haley just said and think, oh, that's me, you're probably still wasting your money. So contact us first. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money, and we can save you that time.
We don't me and Jake, we are honest. We do not want you to spend money when you do not have to spend money.
Exactly.
So we will help you reach your goals spending minimal money.
That's the plan. So as it comes to spending minimal money, another thing I think is overhyped and a bit of a waste of money, pre-workout. This is another thing that
100%.
there's like a massive industry behind pre-workout. And I have taken it before, but so many people have adverse effects to it. Like the side effects to pre-workout, they're quite common. I won't really go into like what they are. They're not like
No, but I don't like it because I don't like the itchy face.
exactly. So exactly, I mean that straight away should be a sign. Don't take it. But pre-workouts are pretty much just a very, very high dose of caffeine. So you can get a high dose of caffeine in a Monster Energy drink. You could get it in a
Winning.
vote in the sugar-free ones. That is.
Yes, not the full sugar ones, guys. Ridiculous amount of sugar.
I thought I'd mention that just because that's like Haley's favorite go-to. I do quite like those. I also like a coffee, just a black coffee. For me, like an espresso before I work out, only if I need it, is great. So that would be my pre-workout is a black coffee and a banana. Like I know banana's not a supplement, but like it before you work out, black coffee, banana, done. You'll be buzzing off your tits and full of energy. You don't need a pre-workout which makes your face itch.
Honestly, the last time I took like a proper pre-workout was I took a scoop from I think I took it from Simon at work, one of the other PTs where we work. And I'm not kidding, guys. Not only was my face itching, my butt cheeks were itching, my body was itching, and I was scratching at my butt cheeks while training. That's not appropriate. I don't want to be scratching at my ass when I'm trying to do some lifts. Like that's for me is just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm with the Monster Zero Sugar.
They're just you just don't need the strength of a pre-workout unless you're. I mean, if you've tried everything else and you don't get the buzz you need, then either you need to reassess your mental state going into the gym, or maybe you could try a pre-workout. But I would recommend everyone try and get by without one because I don't think they're very good. But each their own.
Have some more sleep, guys.
Oh yeah. To be fair, that's probably where you should go to first. If you're lacking energy, sleep more.
Get some more sleep.
Yeah.
Well, are you feeling like you want a burst of the energy from the sugar rush we're about to get?
Exactly. I was just thinking, is there anything else we need to touch on before a donut? And I thought, nah, there's not. Let's just have a donut.
So I've got a Krispy Kreme, and I can't actually remember what they call it.
Ooh, put it close to the camera. Ooh, that looks nice. It's like a toffee or a butterscotch or something like that.
Something like that. Something I can't remember.
Mine,
but it's a ring donut filled in the middle.
Mine is another one that I don't really like. It's
yeah, but you see, I was tempted to get one of them today.
Mine's just a jam donut. So I'm going to remember to rate the donut today.
Yeah, I know, guys, I'm really sorry, but we keep having these donuts and then we forget to rate them. So I'm going to rate this. This is actually banging. I'm definitely giving this. Giving it a 9.5.
I love that. Mine's from Waitrose. Not very good. Waitrose now, I've had 2 donuts from there. Don't rate it at all. Which is annoying because Marks and Spencer's, kind of similar to Waitrose, do one of the best donuts going.
Yeah, I know. Right. Ooh, right. First question today.
Mm-hmm.
When was the best time of your life?
So I've got a mouthful of jam donut here. Best time of my life. Pretty simply was the year I spent like traveling around the world. So I went like North America, South America, Asia, Australia. And in particular, probably the month I spent motorbiking through Vietnam was just by far beyond anything I've ever done. How about you?
Mine was when I went to America for 2 weeks, and we did San Francisco, LA, and my all-time favorite, Vegas. And we drove down from San Francisco to LA
See.
in a monster daddy truck. Like, I'm not kidding, in one of them massive pickup trucks, you know, like the huge ones. We hired that and drove down in that.
I love that. So I've done a lot of traveling. I've been so many places which are cool, but one place I haven't been is America, which really stresses me out because I actually love so much about America and I really want to go and travel. And partly because it's like one country, but every state is different, and it's just, I'd love to go and experience it. So at some point it will happen, but I'm jealous of you for that, for sure.
One of my favorite things about that holiday was Alcatraz. That was literally insane. Like in San Francisco, getting a little boat out to Alcatraz was so good. And like you put on headphones and there's like a proper tour thing going around, and you still, all the cells are there. Then they've got stories playing of like Al Capone and stuff that was in there. So good, guys. If you ever go to San Francisco, do not miss out on that.
I'll keep that in my memory.
It's a good one.
Great question, though. Great question. I like that. Next question is your town, brackets / city, changing? And if so, in what ways?
We're talking about the town I'm living in now, or where
Let's
I'm
go
from?
with your hometown, because Southampton's dead and boring.
I don't think it's changing.
No?
So I'm from York, if you didn't know. And York is still very much the same. Like, there's still loads of the historic things.
It's a very very historic place.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything changing.
In some ways, like, I would agree, like, because I'm from Winchester, again, it's like a very historic place. So there's like a lot of measures in place to make sure that the history and like the heritage doesn't disappear. But in some ways, you can see that it is building up massively, and there are a lot of things like expansions and that. But I think in terms of like the city centre, it's not really changing too much, other than the fact there's no bloody clothes shops anymore. It's just restaurant, coffee shop, and then that's about it.
I think that's standard everywhere, though, isn't it? I think a lot of like shops are like going away, and everyone does online, and it's just getting with loads of. I'll tell you what, York is getting some good food places. Oh, last time I went was over the Christmas period, and obviously Southampton was already, you weren't allowed to, you weren't allowed to go to a restaurant. So my dad was like, right, Hayley, we need to take you to some restaurants before obviously you go back to Southampton. I was like, yes. So we went to this. We went to Tomahawk. It's called Tomahawk Steakhouse. Insane. I can't wait to go back there again. Food was awesome. You get like your steak and then you can pick sides and stuff. It was so good. But the sides are like not just like boring sides. There's everything. Like there was brisket, like beef brisket bites, or there's just so much choice.
Yeah.
And I want it all. But yeah, York's getting good restaurants.
I don't know. I've not been to York, but I just imagine it is bigger than Winchester, because Winchester is quite small. We go in loads of nice coffee shops, but the restaurants that are nice are still just quite overpriced. But yeah, it is nice. Like, and it's not really changing too much, which is nice. So, next question.
What was the last film you saw?
Oh my God, it was so awkward. It was, oh God, if they listen to this, it will be funny, because they definitely found it awkward as well. So, as I live on my own, or have been living on my own, I kind of bubbled with my mum and sister. I don't really care anyway. So they came over and watched a movie last week, as I just moved into like my new place, and we watched this film called Booksmart.
Never seen it.
No, okay, it's quite a new film, and it's kind of funny. It's a bit like, It's a bit like a super bad, but it's got two
Okay.
females as like the lead characters, and it's from like their kind of point of view. It's a similar kind of vibe. They're kind of geeky girls, and they like want to go to a house party. But there's this one bit, there's like a couple bits, and I'm sat there with my mum and my younger sister, and there's one bit where they're watching porn, and oh my god, it was so awkward. And we're not even that awkward about this shit, but like their headphone gets unplugged, and whilst they're watching porn, they're trying to learn like how to, I don't know. One of the girls is lesbian, so she literally unplugs the headphone, and you just hear like obviously she's fingering someone, and it's just like the gushing of like it was the most awkward situation.
Oh yeah, that is awkward.
And then there was another
really
scene
awkward.
later, like another sex scene, and I was just like, oh my god, this is the wrong place to be watching this film. So little spoiler alert, there's some dirty sounds in that.
You watched that. The last movie I watched was on Sunday morning in bed. We paid for the premiere access to Raya and the Last Dragon on Disney Plus. Guys,
bit of a contrast
awesome,
there.
Awesome movie though.
What is it? I don't even know what it is.
So it's the new like Disney movie, you know, like I don't know, like an animation. So it's the new one. So it's about this girl. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because it's awesome.
So basically, you were watching that with Dan, which would have been an appropriate situation to watch my movie, and I was watching my movie with my family, which would have been appropriate to watch whatever dragon film you watched.
It's so good though. Yeah, I know. But yeah, honestly, guys, pay for premiere access or obviously wait. It's just like going to the cinema.
Getting away from that conversation. This is a dead question, but do you ever shop online? And okay, let's increase the question. What was the last thing you bought?
This. The last thing I bought online, guys, was podcast mic. That's how cool I am.
Yeah, as you should be able to hear, the sound is slightly different this week than it has been previously. So hopefully it sounds good. Otherwise, if it sounds shit, just let us know and we'll
What was
the
last thing you bought online?
I think the same.
I'm not a very good woman. Like I'm not a massive online shopper.
Yeah, I don't buy too much either. I guess technically the last thing I bought was a Gusto order, but that kind of comes out on repeat. It's just like more food coming to my house. Yeah. But other than that, the mic, yeah.
And then one more question.
Mm-hmm.
What did you enjoy doing at school?
We had this question last week, kinda.
What did we?
Well, we had something about what was your favourite lesson. I don't know, what did I enjoy doing at school?
Yeah, but what did you enjoy doing at school?
I don't know, school was fun. It was just like mental, you know, like every time it's lunchtime, like it was craziness. And then do you ever used to get it when people would just like shout fight and then the whole school would run to like the playground where there's a fight? And I don't know, like all of that was exciting. It was fun. You were all just
do you know, can I be a loser? Do you know, I used to enjoy stuff like that, and then lunchtime was awesome. But I also used to love it because my dad was like, I think we spoke about this before. My dad was like pro pack up maker, so I used to love going into my packed lunch every day and seeing what I had.
We have not spoke about this. Okay, what kind of food did you have?
He was just such a good pack up maker. Like I would have things from like I'd have my sandwich. Is
that what you call it? Pack up?
Yep.
Okay, I've never heard that.
Pack up. So we'd have like the sandwich, or it'd be a wrap, or sometimes baguette, ciabatta. Used to have ciabattas a lot, and it'd be filled with something good. And then I'd have like stuff from like onion bhajis to things like that. And then I'd have my fruit all nicely chopped up, and then I'd have like my whatever bar he put in. Oh, he was just such a good pack-up maker.
I like that. That's called good parenting.
Everyone used to want to nick my onion bhajis and samosas.
See, I had school meals, and it was like they were good for the first few years, and then I think Jamie Oliver had his bloody way, and we all had to start eating healthy, and it was just dead. Like the last couple of years were just crap in terms of like.
I never really had the school dinners. But my sister did, and she always used to. So I don't know where. So the thing came into place where you would have an account and you would parents would top up the account and you would use your finger for scanning.
Okay.
And my sister always used to spend the money on buying, tray bakes.
Tray bake.
Like the cakes, it was it's kind of like a brownie cake thing.
Okay.
And my sister would spend all her money on chocolate tray bakes.
Just get chocolate tray bakes.
Yeah, she never bought anything else. She just was obsessed with these chocolate tray bakes.
Oh, school was fun though. School was just a bit craziness. Like, just played like lots of sport, like mucked around with friends, and just I don't know. It was fun. It was fun. But that's enough of the questions. We can't go on all day.
Yeah,
Can we?
I was gonna say. Yeah, I know. We've had some good sidetrack in this episode. Let's go.
I was gonna say. So we touched on a few of like the important ones earlier, and we left everything else. We've left because we both kind of use them, and it's quite easy for us to share what we use. So why don't you share what kind of supplements you use?
So I know you do all these ones that I do.
Pretty much.
You do zinc and magnesium.
Yeah.
So I take 2 of them. So I have it in little tablet form.
Mm-hmm.
So I take 2 little tablets of that a day, magnesium and zinc, because these are something I'm more likely to be deficient in as I take the contraceptive pill. So that's why I take that one. And also it's good for like sleep and recovery and all things like that.
And that's why I take it.
And then I take my vitamin D, obviously, as I'm English and we live in shitty England. The weather's crap. So yeah, I take my vitamin D, and then I take a multivitamin, a nice little chewy pomegranate and raspberry flavoured vitamin every morning. It's like when my alarm goes off at 5, I just roll over and I'll pop out my chewy.
Do you?
I'm such a loser, aren't I? I pop out my chewy. Oh, but I took your advice and I've started. So I take, on a morning, I do my multivitamin and my vitamin D. Then I started taking your advice and I do my zinc and magnesium on a night because I know it helps with sleep. But
yeah.
I kind of I took it on a morning with my other ones so I would remember. But now what I do is when I take my morning ones, I leave the magnesium and zinc out so that when I go to bed, I straight away just go into that now.
I've started doing the exact same because I'm very similar in the way that like it's quite easy to forget to take a separate one later. So I guess like if you're the kind of person that forgets, it's more important that you take it. So like just take it in the morning, but it is better to take it in the evening because it does help with sleep and recovery.
But yeah, also if you don't know, guys, you need to, like, obviously we've quickly just touched on the fact that we take multivitamin and vitamin D and zinc and magnesium. But if you want to know more about them, check out last week's episode. So that would be episode 17? 18?
Micronutrients.
Getting so
the importance
confused.
of micronutrients.
Episode 18. Check that out because we discuss why you should possibly take vitamin D and why it's good to take a multivitamin and zinc and magnesium.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the morning, I mean, at the moment, because I'm not, and if I'm trying to bulk, I will have a lot more food, but where I'm not having loads of food, I get up and have a coffee and then I don't have anything until I'm kind of hungry. So when I'm hungry, I normally go for a smoothie, and in that I take a multivitamin with that, and I take a vitamin D with that, and fish oils with that. So fish oils is another one that, like, if you don't eat much fish, you can just take like fish oil tablets. So it's like omega-3 and 6 basically. So I take those. However, if my diet changes a bit and I'm eating a lot of like fatty fish, then I probably won't take them because they are just basically fats. They're just an oil that I don't really have much of.
See, I eat like fish a few times a week, and it's a variety. Sometimes it's like tuna or salmon.
Yeah.
Or
salmon's really good.
At the moment, I'm into bassa. I like my smoked bassa.
I'm gonna have some bassa this week. Got it on a Gusto order.
It's nice. It's good.
But Another one that's kind of like a multivit is Super Greens powder. So I take that in my smoothie because it's just a bunch of like green vegetables like that are powdered, like blended, frozen and blended, however they do it. But that's just like a bunch of vitamins in there. So again, I take that with my smoothie, and then I will take zinc and magnesium in the evening if I remember. I try my best to remember. And then the only other time that I take stuff is that's basically my normal day. But if I'm bulking, then these kind of aren't supplements, but I regard it as supplements because I have it as a shake. So if I'm on a bulk and I need more calories, then I supplement with protein. I have a protein shake normally after the gym, and in that I chuck in some instant oats and some maltodextrin. They're both just carbs. One's a simple carb, one's a complex carb. And the reason I just have that is just to bulk out my shake and add a lot more calories. So if you're trying to build muscle, it's kind of a supplement, but it's not really because it's just food. So that's worth thinking
But if you struggle to eat it, it's such a good way of doing it.
Yeah, because like when I'm bulking, I need like 3,500 or more calories. Like
See, I am such a weirdo, but I could easily do that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's consistently every day though is hard because as soon as you miss one day, catching up an extra 1,000 calories is just so incredibly hard. Because then you're eating like 5,000 calories, and it's just consistently is hard. So with the shakes, it really helps.
For sure. But yeah, guys, if you have any more questions on any supplements, want to know whether you like need to be taking some or whether you don't need to be taking some, then send us a message on either mine, Hayley Rich PT, or Jake's, Jake Allen PT, or the Donuts of Fitness Instagram that we have now, guys. So you can message us both on there so we can both see the message with that one. Guys, if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Thank you.